There is a plague of ignorance spreading around many Muslims today, and from that is the baseless claim that obedience to rulers is only applicable when there is a Khalifa, greater Imam. In other words, the claim is that obedience to the current rulers is not necessary since there is no Khalifa. However, the following evidences from Hadith and the statements of the scholars from Ahl Sunnah will refute this beyond a shadow of a doubt, for any heart that is sincerely seeking out the truth. Alhamdulillah. To begin. The validity of existence of various Muslim states in the absence of Khalifa, the greater Imam. Refuting the misconception that obedience is valid only to the greater Imam. Compiled by Dr. Salih as-Salih rahimahullaah in the year 1427 after the Hijrah, corresponding to August 2006, the 10th day. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I begin to write. The following question was received from a brother in USA. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As you know, there are a number of ahadith concerning how Muslims are to deal with Muslim rulers, including the sinful and oppressive rulers. How would you respond to the one who claims that these ahadith are concerning the Khalifa of the Muslims, not the various leaders, kings, or prime ministers of today? Barakallahu feekum. The answer. Alaykum wassalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Shubuha misconception that the ahadith of obedience to the rulers are restricted to the general Khalifa, greater Imam, is, alhamdulillah, already answered by the scholars of Islam. Here are some of their statements. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymeyah rahimahullah said, the sunnah is that the Muslims have one Imam and the rest are his deputies. Suppose, however, the Ummah abandoned this due to a sin from some part of it and incapacity from the rest, or for a reason other than that, and which led to having number of Imams, then it is binding upon each Imam to establish the Hudood, prescribed punishments, and fulfill the rights of people. Imam Shawkani rahimahullah said, in principle, all Muslims should have one Imam. However, after the spread of Islam and the expansion of its territories and their remoteness, it is known that in each region there became a ruler or Imam, and so with the rest of the regions, none of them having authority to command and forbid in the other regions. So the presence of various multiple Imams and rulers is of no harm, and it is binding to obey each one of them after giving him the bay'ah, the pledge of allegiance, in the region in which his commands and prohibitions are executed therein, and similarly in the case of the one in charge of another region. And it is not obligatory upon the people of the other regions to obey him, nor to be under his governorship due to the remoteness of the regions. Then he said, you should know this, since it is fitting to the Sharia foundations, and in full agreement to what is indicated by the evidences, and turn down what is being said in opposition to this. Since the difference between the condition of the early Islamic wilaya, meaning the administrative governorship, and its state nowadays is clearer than the sun during the day. Shaykh Imam Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah said, the Imams from each madhab are unanimous that whoever overtakes a country or countries, meaning seizes power, is entitled to assume the same rulership as the Imam in all affairs. Were it not so, the affairs of this worldly life would not be upright, and for a long time, since before the time of Imam Ahmad rahimahullah and until our time, people were not in agreement upon one Imam, and they have no account of a scholar stating the validity of the applicability of any of the rulings of Sharia is conditional upon the presence of the greater Imam. And I should repeat this. And they have no account of a scholar stating that the validity of the applicability of any of the rulings, meaning of Sharia, is conditional upon the presence of the greater Imam. For Al-Allama, esteemed scholar As-San'ani, rahimahullaah, said in his explanation of the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, raised to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, one who defected from the obedience to the Amir and separated from the main body of the Muslims, if he died in that state, would die the death of one belonging to the days of Jahiliyyah, meaning he would not die as a Muslim. This is reported in Sahih Muslim, book 20, number 4555. That the obedience is the obedience to the Khalifa upon whom there is agreement, and it seems that what is intended is the Khalifa on any region from the regions, since people were not on agreement on a single Khalifa over the entire Islamic land since the Abbasid rule. Rather, each region became independent under a ruler running its affairs, and if we carry the hadith to apply only to the Khalifa upon whom the Muslims are unanimous, then it's the hadith, the benefit of the hadith would be diminished. And that the saying in the hadith, quote, and separated from the main body of the Muslims, end quote, means separated from the Jama'ah who agreed upon an Imam under whom their body and affairs are organized, their world is united, and their protection from their enemy is achieved, end quote. So it becomes clear that negating the validity of governorship on separate Muslim states leads to evil in the sense that it sets the stage for rebellion against the rulers, and this is forbidden in Islam even if the ruler is an oppressor, as this constitutes the creed of Ahl Sunnah. So it becomes clear that negating the validity of governorship on separate Muslim states leads to evil in the sense that it sets the stage for rebellion against the rulers, and this is forbidden in Islam, even if the ruler is an oppressor, as this constitutes the creed of Ahl Sunnah, and Allah knows best. And he ends, Dr. Salih rahimahullah ends by making a dua, may Allah the Most High guide me, you, and all Muslims to abide by the way of the Salaf, and make us from those who relate the unclear matters to the clear, so that they reach that which is clear and pleasing to Allah. Wassalam. Subhanakallah bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.